So Donald Trump won. I'm happy. It felt like Christmas waking up and seeing the news that he'd won. I was really nervous about it. I was quite anxious. I thought, oh no, he's not going to do it. They're going to do the same as they did in 2020. 2020 was dodgy. If you believe that 81 million people, Americans, voted for Biden, who hardly held any rallies, and when they did happen, hardly anyone turned up, and they were sat on little stools 20 metres apart or whatever it was during that thing we're not allowed to talk about. And he won. Now, interestingly, 66 million or thereabouts Americans voted for Harris. So what happened to the 15 million votes? Did they automatically switch over to Trump? I don't know. Personally, I don't think they ever existed. But that's just me. There's a lot of hoo-ha going on at the moment. People are realising, people are questioning the 81 million Americans who voted for Biden, whether they existed or not, whether it was a big fix. But if that's the case, and they did fix it, why didn't they fix it this time? Well, like Elon Musk said, this time it's too big to rig, and the campaigns are quite different as well. Trump campaigned on issues, things that the people are really concerned about, and Kamala Harris and her team, they campaigned on emotions. Surely they've got to realise now that sort of politics, people don't like it. They really don't. I mean, after everything they've thrown at Trump, calling him a convicted felon, a rapist. He was never convicted of rape, by the way. Look it up. He really wasn't. That's the truth. So they're throwing all this nonsense at him, saying he encouraged people to do the January the 6th insurrection. He didn't. And they're still rolling out with this, and it's all lies after lies after lies. And it's going to get worse now. It's going to be worse than they were in 2016 to 2020 when he was president the last time. But I think it'll make him a better president and a better man, because now, between then and now, he realises what he's truly up against. He's up against evil. Trump is up against evil people who seemingly, and from what I observe, want to bring the West down. It's not about money. It's not about nuclear weapons. It's not about anything of that nature. It's about you and me. It's about the little people. It's about control. They want to control us. They want to control what we say on social media, elsewhere. They want to control what we think and what we do, because that way they have true power. If you can control an individual, their actions, their thoughts, their opinions, then you really have true power. And it's been exercised here in Great Britain. You've got the so-called hate speech laws up in Scotland. People are being jailed and fined heavily for saying things that other people find offensive. It's their choice to be offended, by the way. And here, Keir Starmer actively took a role in strong-arming, I've said this before, local authorities into jailing people, fast-tracking people into prison sentences for Facebook posts. And it's going to happen, well, it was going to happen in America under Kamala Harris. That's what would have happened. They would have shut down X. And if Elon Musk hadn't bought X, it would be Kamala Harris in the White House now, I can assure you, because they would have had control of that. They would have fed a massive dose of misinformation. There'd be nothing positive about Trump or whoever else would have been standing up against her, and they'd have controlled the narrative. They'd have ensured, they would have helped Kamala Harris and put her into the White House. Thank God that didn't happen. Thank God. A socialist economy doesn't help anyone. Kamala Harris is a socialist. And a socialist economy in America would have dropped it to its knees. And when America does bad economically, so does the rest of the world. It would have been a domino effect. So now under Trump, the economy will do better under him, as it did under him when he was president, than it did under Biden. And so things would be good here. As it was then, the proof is in the pudding. We don't need a closer tie with the EU. Sure, trade with them, but we don't have to be a part of them. But I'd rather be traded with the United States, to be honest with you. And like I said, Trump's going to learn from from the past 8 years, really, of what's happened. And what he needs to do now, he needs to sack everyone who works for him if they become dissidents or they disagree, or it's fine to disagree. But really, the people voted for Trump, and it's Trump who's making the decisions. It's the same here with our snivel servants refusing to work for the people whom we elected that they should be working for. We didn't vote for civil servants. We voted for whoever is Prime Minister and installs as whatever secretary. And under the last Tory government, the civil servants, they didn't listen to them. They backstabbed. They went onto Twitter using official government accounts to slag him off like they did with Boris Johnson, saying we've got to work with this clown. But we don't vote for civil servants, do we? It's the same in America. You vote for Trump, you vote for his policies. They are there to implement his policies. And the amount of people who turned on him, refused to do as he said, then just accused him of all sorts, they were loads. I mean, even his own general apparently got in touch with Russia to warn them, or was it China? I think it was China, to warn them about what Trump was doing, and that's treason in my book. Trump needs to sack him and court-martial him, I reckon, in my opinion. I mean, again, it's the woke mind virus. Trump derangement syndrome is debilitating, it's damaging, and it affects other people as well. And I think he'll come after them as well. I really do, and I hope so. I really do hope he roots these people out, makes a legal example of them, and to deter such woke lefty crap ever again. Surely he's got to learn now. He needs to know who these people are and what they're doing. And what they're doing is no good. And what they did last time was they made sure that Biden replaced him, someone they liked, someone clearly they could. I mean, if you thought he was ever in charge of the White House and the country, then think again. His brain was melting before our very eyes, folks. It was melting. A guy who couldn't string a sentence together fell when he walked up and down stairs, got lost on a stage, shook hands with invisible people, made funny faces, put a baby's foot in his mouth, talked about kids stroking the hairs on his legs. I mean, I could go on. Suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story, making up the Russia hoax. I mean, my God, everything that the guy's gone through, and, you know, to do it all again and win again. Kudos. Massive kudos to Trump. What a strong man, what a strong character he is. And it makes me think, and I said this on X, looking at Trump, who said what he has, he's doing what he does, he's doubling down on what he's promised, and it's very much unlike our own Nigel Farage. I kind of hoped Nigel would be our Farage, but he's not. He's far more, I don't know if he's being careful or if he's backtracking when it comes to the mass illegal migration problem. I just don't know anymore about Farage. Obviously, I will vote for reform. I just want them to do better. I think it's pointless of me going, I know it's a completely different topic. I think it's pointless me voting for UKIP because they've got no one anywhere. At least Reform have got their foot in the door, and the number of local elections they're winning is growing. They're getting more councillors. And I am hoping that the more successful Reform become, then Nigel Farage doubles down on what he means to do. That's what I want. But anyway, back to Trump. It's going to be, I mean, the celebrities have gone into overdrive again, the same as last time. They said they're going to leave. I doubt they'll leave. They're all coming here, apparently. We don't want you here. And I speak on behalf of everyone here who supports Trump and loves our country dearly and are not lefties. We don't want you woke celebrities here. Stay there and just take it like adults. Accept the democratic will of the people, or simply bugger off over the border to Canada. You got Justin Trudeau there. He's as woke as they come. You'd love him. And I was watching, I was crying my tits off watching all these people crying on social media. It was glorious to watch. It was a proper meltdown. They're like kids. You got women now cutting their hair to make themselves even more attractive, if you thought that was possible of lefty women. And then denying men their conjugal rights, so-called, because Trump won. You got people disowning people left, right and centre. There's going to be violent marches all across America. It's going to be pandemonium all over again. These people will torch America because Trump won, which will prove the right's right yet again. They do it everywhere, folks. If the left lose, they torch the country. They burn the country to the ground. They make things difficult for ordinary, decent people. And that's what Trump needs to get on top of now. When Antifa march, arrest them, throw them in jail. When Black Lives Matter march, arrest them, put them in jail. If they don't do it peacefully, that is. Come down hard on them, really hard. Make sure they never, ever do it again. If you want to protest about anything again, be it free plasticine, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, civil rights, do it peacefully, in a civil manner. And we could all get along, can't we? You didn't see decent right-wing people rioting when Starmer got elected, did you? All right, what happened during the summer was over Southport, but those protests were hijacked by absolute idiots. Whereas the left, when they riot, it's wholesale. It really is wholesale, and you'll see it all again. It's going to happen again. It won't be a smooth presidency for Trump, and these people will make things very hard for him. Even the politicians, you can see it coming. You can read it like a book, folks. And there we go. That's my synopsis and my predictions. I hope you like. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I'll see you at the next one. I'm Paz49. Look after yourselves, and Roger Trout.